Koine Internet, and welcome to Parsing John. Today we are in Chapter 1, verses 26 and 27. Here is the rubric, everything we're looking for as we go through this text. Put that down here, and let's go ahead and get started. Already failing. Apekrithe autois ho Ioannes legon, ego baptizo in hudati, mesos humon hesteken hon he humes, uk oidate ho opiso mu erkomenos, hu uk emi ego axios hina luso autu ton himaton tu hupodematos. There we go. All right, so as we take a look at our very first word, we of course want to be finding our verb, but we do have it right there. And since we've got that theta, eta ending there, this tells us that this is a third person. It is a singular, and it is aorist. And it looks initially like a passive, but if we pay attention to the principal parts of this verb, I believe it's apokrinomai, which would mean that this is actually deponent. You may have seen this one last video or the video before, and it is naturally indicative, and it means he answered. Who is he? Well, it's possible that it'll tell us in the rest of the sentence. He answered. Autois there, it's not accusative, so that's not a direct object. Instead, we've got a dative, and it is plural and masculine or neutered. Probably going to be masculine, since everybody that we've talked about previously in this has been masculine. And we come to ho Ioannes, and here we get our subject. This is going to be ho from ho, he, to, the John, nominative, singular, masculine, and we've got eta sigma here, our first declension masculine endings. So this would be to them, the John, legon. This is the last word in the clause, and we see it's got omega nu as our ending off of leg. Leg is the present stem of, naturally, lego. This ending tells us that this is nominative, singular, masculine, present, and that it is an active participle. Saying. All right, comma. He answered to them, the John, saying, ego baptizo. As we've seen before with ego, it's not strictly declinable, but we know it's nominative and singular. It's neither masculine nor feminine because both men and women use it. It's I, so it's still him, and we've entered a direct quote, so we can put quote marks there. Baptizo, omega there as our ending off of baptiz, which is the present stem ending of this verb. So that's going to be first person, singular, present, active, and indicative. I baptize. En hudati, en here is our preposition. And since our clause ends with this colon here, we know that udati, hudati has to be its object. And this is in taking the dative case. Hudati is a third declension word, so dative, singular, and I think water is neuter. In water, colon. Moving on, then we come to mesos, estaken. Estaken here is our verb. We've got epsilon nu as our ending, which means third person and singular. And this, since we've got estake as our stem, this is going to tell us that it is perfect tense, and it is active and indicative. And this means memory fail, stood. Stood. Someone stood. Who exactly? Well, it can't be any of these here. Could be mesos if mesos were actually a noun. But this word here is not. And looking it up, I couldn't figure out what part of speech it actually is. It looks like something similar to a preposition. It just means among. And it goes with the genitive, which we have right here, omega nu, with humes, That's genitive and plural. Among you all. So someone stood among you all, and hon here introduces a relative clause, which means we don't actually have a subject in here, so we're just going to have to insert he or the word one. I'm going to do one. I believe that's what we've done in the past when we've had this situation. To stand in for our subject. Okay, so one stood among y'all. Hon. This is going to be masculine, accusative, and singular from up here again. Hos. Hey. With accent marks. And no, it's not on, it's ho. I believe that's what it is. All right, so this means who. So we've got a direct object here. So our subject in this part of the clause is now going to be the direct object of this relative clause. All right, so we've got the verb oidate. Ate is our ending, and it's off of oid, which is oida esomai, I believe is that. It's only got the two forms. This uses perfect endings, so it can either be translated as a perfect tense, or when it has a slightly different sense to it, it can be translated as a present tense. This is the second person plural, te, as our linking vowel there. And second person plural, perfect / present, active, and indicative. So as a perfect tense, it means knew, I believe. Gosh, brain is failing here. No, saw or understood, and but it can, when it's being used presently, even though it's in the perfect form, it has the idea of know. So knew, y'all, and we have humes here as our subject of same word there. So nominative, plural, and then no gender. Who you all know or saw. Could quite possibly be wrong with this one, sorry. It's been a week and a half since I had time to do any of this. All right, and then ook just negates this verb. Whom y'all did not see, or whom y'all did not know. Okay, moving on to verse 27. Ho, from right here, is going to be nominative, singular, and masculine. The who? No, we don't know yet. Hopiso here acts like a preposition, and it takes its object in the genitive case, which we find right here. Omicron upsilon, genitive, singular, and then no gender again. Who before me? No, after me. After me. Arkomenos, we've seen this one before. We've got Omicron sigma as our ending, men off of erk, from erkomai, our verb. This is nominative, singular, masculine, present, and this verb is deponent, erkomai, as I said earlier. Deponent, and then participle, who coming, comma, the, again we're going to insert the word one, coming after me, who, here we've got our genitive form of hos, he, ho, our relative pronouns, genitive, singular, masculine, but we want to find our verb. Keep skipping that part, sorry. Amy here is our verb. It's from, naturally, Amy, esmai, or maybe this is the one that has esmai and this is esomai. I can never remember that. Sorry. So that's first person, singular, present, active, and indicative. I am, and then we've got ego, repetition from earlier right there. So I don't need to do that one again. Don't need that, I know. And then I am what? I'm either going to be a location shown by a prepositional phrase or a predicate. And here we find axios, and it's got Omicron sigma there, the second declension adjective, and that's nominative, singular, masculine predicate. Worthy. I am worthy. In what way? Well, not. Ook again. And then of whom. Now this is genitive because axios normally takes a genitive in the thing one is worthy of in Latin, and also in English, curiously. I am not worthy of whom. Hina, so we can't translate that because it's a particle. We need to take a look at the clause after to figure out actually what's going on. And here we find our verb, which is luso. We've got what looks like the future or the aorist stem on there, and an omega ending right there, which is normally going to be our first person singular future, but it could also be our first person singular aorist subjunctive. So I'm not sure which one makes the best fit here, so just write down both options, or really all options, whenever you're not quite certain. So first singular future, and that's going to be active or aorist, active indicative or aorist subjunctive, and of course active, all messed up, sorry. There we go. So it could be either. So I will loose, or I may loose, might loose. It's going to be may because it's subjunctive. So this could be taking a subjunctive verb, or it could be taking an indicative verb. Let's take a look at the rest of the clause before we move on. Autu, omicron upsilon there, genitive, singular, masculine. It's not going to be neuter. Ton hematia. Ton is from hoheto. This is accusative, singular, and based on the look of hematia, it is probably going to be masculine or neutered. If it were neuter, it'd be just to, so it's masculine. So these two go together. To is not a part of that. And this means the strap, I believe. Strap. Whose strap? To hupodematos. This word is going to be, because of our omicron upsilon there from hoheto, our article is clearly genitive, singular, and it could be masculine or neuter, and I believe this one is neuter. These go together, and this means of the sandal. Okay, and that ends this, so we come back to here. Is. Now we still have the problem of luso and hina. So let's try both options for translating it and see which one sounds more probable. Of whom I am not worthy, that I may loose the strap of his sandal, or of whom I am not worthy, that I shall loose the strap of his sandal. So, technically, they both sound possible. Which one it actually is, I can't tell. So, I'm going to write down both. I shall, or I may. There we go. Either one. Don't know, and can't really clear it up. This is something for better scholars than I am, especially considering how terrible we've done in this video. Again, sorry for all that. Let's go back from the start. I have brought in our previous text so that we can get everything in context. And this is the witness of the John. When the Jews sent out to him from Jerusalem priests and Levites, in order that they may ask him, "Who are you?" And he confessed, and not denied, and confessed, and because confessed, "I am not the Christ." And they asked him, "What therefore? Are you Elijah?" And he says, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "Not." They said therefore to him, "Who are you?" in order that we may give answer to those having sent us. What do you say about yourself? He said, I am a voice of crying in the wilderness. Make straight the road of the Lord, just as Isaiah said, the prophet. And having been sent out, they were from the Pharisees. And they asked him, and they said to him, Why therefore do you baptize, if you are not the Christ, and not Elijah, and not the prophet? John answered to them, saying, I baptize in water. Among you all stood one who you do not know, or you did not see, the one coming after me, of whom I am not worthy, that I shall or I may loose the strap of his sandal. I should probably write the word loose there. So there we go. That is the context of everything we've gone through so far. We've got one verse left, and then we can take all of this together, the entire passage, and see what it says. And then after that, we can compare it to our Latin text. I hope taking a look at these two verses today was helpful for you, and in spite of all my failings, I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.